Hey guys, this is author Ari and I'm going to be telling you about my in-person writers conference experience. Welcome to the channel. This is my first YouTube video, so I'm really happy that you're here, and I thought I'd start off strong by telling you about my experience and it could help you too. So what to expect for your writers conference experience. I got up really early, I got ready. I made sure to wear business casual. I thought that was the best route to take. Most people were wearing business casual. I had a black top with a corset and black slacks. I was pretty much the first one there because I'm early to everything. So I kind of just sat down and found someone with a name tag and I talked to them. What I think is really important is to have business cards. What to bring? Business card holder. I got this one off Etsy, super duper cute. I can drop the link, you can open it, and then you have everyone else's cards and then my cards. And it was really beneficial to make connections in the writing world because I don't really have a lot of writing friends, and now I do. Second would be folders to carry your query, your pitch to review before you pitch, because it's nerve-wracking, and just in case you freeze up during the pitch, you can kind of just glance down. I would either bring a laptop or a notebook to take notes. Okay, let's talk about cost. So it costs about $200 to attend, and you get all these blocks of scheduling with professional agents and people in the industry already. So it's a really good place to network and to learn about publishing and so on and so on. It costs $89 for a 10-page critique. That's really up to you. If you wanted to pay for that, it's just an extra. I did it. I thought it was really helpful. I got connected with an editor and she's very friendly. She didn't try to sell anything on me, which I found great. It was $69 to get your query letter critiqued. Now you can just do this for free on the subreddit. It's called Pub Tips. I've done this like 3 times. I think it's really beneficial, but I was just kind of curious what a professional from a conference would say, so I did pay for it, but you really don't need to. And then the pitches are $29 each to an agent. I heard a lot of controversial things about this, that you don't need to pay to pitch. You really don't. You can just send your query letter and your pages, whatever they want in Query Tracker. But personally, I thought it was great to talk to them in person, and I got requests for my first couple chapters with both agents, so I thought it was very beneficial. Talk about pitching. So pitching was kind of nerve-wracking, and it was my first time. So basically I had a time slot. Mine was at 10:40 in the morning. We lined up and we signed in about 10 minutes before. It was in a big conference room with separate tables, and there's about 8 agents in there. You go to your assigned agent that you paid for, and you kind of just introduce yourself. I would introduce yourself casually, talk maybe for like 10 seconds, like, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Ariana, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm writing a YA academia fantasy. It's 81,000 words. It's completed. Would you like to hear my pitch? That's how I started. I also said I brought notes just in case I freeze up, and they're like, that's totally cool. I wouldn't even memorize it. So a lot of them were chill, but I heard there were more maybe stricter agents, but the agents I talked to were very friendly. I would keep your pitch to about 1 to 2 minutes. Mine was a 10-minute window, but the 10 minutes goes by really fast. I did my pitch, and she asked me follow-up questions like, what are you writing in the future and what makes your book different? I would also bring questions to ask them because that shows you're interested and that you care. So make sure you do your research on your agent. She gave me her card and she's like, send these first couple chapters, which made me really excited, and I appreciated that she would take the time to read my chapters. That doesn't mean I get an agent. She's just gonna read my stuff. There's a part of the writers conference that I suggest everyone should do. It's called a first page critique. Now, it's very scary to have professionals read your work and everyone be in the room to listen to their critique. Mine was a YA fantasy, so you put the genre and then you put your 1 page and it's double-spaced, regular formatting. They read it. They were like, yeah, this is a very grounded story, but I wouldn't read the next page. So I was like, oh, great. Now I need to edit my first couple pages all over again, which I'm kind of stressed about, but it was great information because I knew immediately if I did send that stuff over, I would get rejected. So now I need to think of a new beginning. Mine was mostly because it wasn't whimsical enough and it just didn't keep them hooked. One of the reasons to go is just for networking. I got about 10 to 12 people's cards, and that's a big community around here to write. I'm really excited to be able to send my first couple pages to them and have their opinions, because a lot of them were people with PhDs and in like creative writing or just doctors in general. I was surprised it was a bit of an older crowd. I kind of wanted to see some people my age, but it was more of people in like 30s, 40s, and 50s. Last thing, the best advice I got. The best advice I got was to start your newsletter. I'm going to be creating my newsletter and brand in this upcoming week. I didn't know that was a thing if you didn't have your book out. They said you don't need to create a website, but to have your newsletter is really important. The author who was talking to us, his name's Bob. I have his book. Thank you, Bob. It was a pleasure meeting you. His brand is Possums, which is really interesting. But he wrote a book about meth and magicians, so you can't really brand meth. I mean, you could, but he went with possums. He said that he wished he started his newsletter earlier. So I'm gonna work on my newsletter and my socials and brand. That's why I'm making this YouTube video. I learned about trad publishing and self-publishing, and that hybrid publishing are scams. And then I also learned just write what you love. That's really obvious, but trends are cyclical and they come and go. So if you want to write dystopian, write dystopian. If you want to write cyberpunk, write cyberpunk. If you want to write about a magical school, write a magical school because you love Harry Potter, just like me. That is the end of this video. I hope you find it really informative, and I hope that you sign up for a writer's conference. I can leave links in the bios below because they go to multiple locations. If you have any questions about conferences or writing in general, I've been writing for 15 plus years, and I plan on doing traditional or self-publishing this or next year. To summarize, the conference was really helpful for me, and I think it was worth the money. I made a lot of connections. I have agents to send my work to now, and I got critiques on my 10 pages and my query letter. If you guys want to follow me on my writing journey, this is going to be my main social for it. I would love to create a writing community and write with y'all. I'm going to link my newsletter in the next coming videos and kind of start more with my brand. So I really appreciate you watching and enjoy the ride.